You're listening to Roots and Rise with Kels and Madi.
Rooted in wisdom, rising together. She's feeling sassy today for good reason.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
It's on everyone's mind.
Is it?
Well, it's on every man's mind.
So here's the facts. I have come to Maddie many a time to be like, can you help me with the fact that maybe my expectations don't meet my husband's expectations and vice versa, and how to manage that. And also the question that I had when I was first married was, how many times is a normal amount of times?
Yeah.
And so here's the facts. I get really passionate about talking about sex when it comes to marriage because I think a lot of people do not want to talk about it. But I'm like, that is going to be one of the number one reasons why marriages fall apart, because the connection is not happening and the effort is not happening. And the woman is feeling resentful and the man is feeling alone and isolated. And so here's the facts. We need to be a society that stops shying away from these things that make us uncomfortable, because if we continue to shy away from them, you're going to continue to see marriages falling apart and families falling apart because we just never talked about it.
I feel like we're taught from such a young age that it's shameful, because it can be something that changes your life when you're not ready for it. Absolutely. But then once you get married, like, you're just supposed to flip this switch of like, no, this is good for your marriage. This is something that needs to happen. But then boys and girls have different expectations of what that looks like and what it should feel like and what sex actually is in a marriage.
Well, and full transparency. So I'll give a little backstory, not to derail, but to kind of stay on topic of expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone is coming at this subject from a different lens.
Yes.
Everybody is coming to this subject from different life experiences. And I have a lot of friends that saved themselves for marriage.
Oh, really?
So many.
Really?
So many. Oh my goodness. And to be quite frank, like, I don't think it's a mistake that I became close with a lot of those women, because I was really drawn to the surety of them, mm-hmm. and really drawn to the relationship with God, and that it was stable. But the thing that they had that I didn't have, most of them had incredible relationships with their parents, mm-hmm. that were stable, that were strong, and are still stable and strong today.
Yeah. Healthy
parents that not just took them to church, but like really in detail cared about every aspect of their life, were super present parents. Not to say that you can't still make that choice or not make that choice with present parents. I think that it just happened to be that they all had something very similar in common, which is their parents loved each other well in a very Christian-based relationship, and loved their daughters well, kind of unabashedly.
Right.
So backtrack. I experienced sexual abuse at 6, was with my single parent mom up until I was 15, entered the foster system at that point, and did not start a relationship with my dad until I was closer to like 19 years old.
Right.
I lost my virginity by choice. I kind of, obviously there's some gray area there, but like lost it by choice at 13 years old. That's a really young age to lose your virginity. And I mean, like, I get on a very visceral level why one would teach and encourage someone to wait for marriage, because the alternative is to be left to your own devices at 13. That's really bad.
Bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And I met Jesus at 16 and I completely reworked my life at that point. It still didn't stop me from making some really interesting life choices, but it really changed the trajectory and gave me some groundwork and gave me at least a semblance of what it felt like to be loved by the Father for the first time.
Right.
You know? So circling back to expectation, when we get to marriage and you have all this baggage that you come to marriage with, and it's not dealt with, and you didn't heal, and you didn't get therapy, and you didn't talk about it, and you were carried all this shame into your marriage, guess what? Sex is not very fun.
Right.
In that regard.
Yeah. And a lot of times you don't even know that there's anything wrong with your psyche. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't even know that there's something you were supposed to be handling or taking care of because
I'm taking my hearing aids out.
Because you don't know what you don't know, you know?
Facts.
Until there's an issue and then you're like, this isn't that fun.
So you get to the point where like you're in the marriage and like, let's say you get married in the first couple months, it's green goodies. Like everything's great. You're enjoying it. Then all of a sudden, like they're doing stuff you don't really like, but you don't really know how to say anything about it. So you're like, well, maybe if I just kind of whatever, it'll go away or I'll get used to it. One thing that I don't think Hunter would be offended if I said this, but one thing he used to do when we were first married, he like really he didn't ever want it to feel dirty to me. Like he wanted it to make sure that I felt loved. So he would like be really romantic. The issue with that is like, it makes me feel cringy when you're like loving. Cause I'm like, I don't know. Like, it
wasn't your style.
It wasn't the style because I had only used sex as a power tool for so long. So when it's like all like it just felt very uncomfortable and I felt very out of my body. And then he was like, oh, she's uncomfortable because she's traumatized. I should do that more. I should double down on how much I love my wife. Turns out through some therapy and some praying and some work done, it turns out that like what I really couldn't communicate my needs and wants to him because I didn't feel safe, and safety comes with time.
Yes.
And a lot of it came with like, he had to get comfortable with me being like, I don't like that because then that would hurt his feelings. It was a whole situation.
It's a whole thing. Like your partner might say, no, I want you to be open with me. I want to communicate. And then if their feelings get hurt when you do, you go, well, I don't feel like I can.
Yep. And now you're at stalemate.
And then you have to keep doing that. And it's so uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable at first. Absolutely. So here's what I will say is I think you and I both have stories of like how we have gotten over uncomfortable humps in those areas. And like, can you give some examples of the steps we take to get over some of the sexual humps?
The sexual humps. First and foremost, there is this book called The Vagina Bible. If you are a woman, you need to read it. It is so informative. We are like not taught about our own anatomy very well.
Yeah.
And it really dives into that. And it talks about how women also are like, they don't typically get the best feeling from just regular penetration, but men do. And that's not really fair. So like, no, of course, women usually are like, I don't feel like it. It's not always going to be great for me. So you got to figure out ways that it can be. Part of that is what I'm saying is learning actually about your body, how it works, what feels good, and then conveying that to your partner because your partner should care about how you feel.
I agree completely. 1000%.
It should be equally fun for both people.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I think growing up as a young woman, being intimate for me was never about me feeling good. Personally, I was always just like, are you going to be in love with me now?
Yeah.
Searching for love. And so it was more of a conquest, and like, how can I use my body to make someone love me so I feel loved?
Mm-hmm.
But once you're married and you are loved, like, there's that assuredness there, but then you're like, wait, I've always done it like this, which really wasn't that fun.
Yeah.
Now what? And so you kind of have to relearn, if you have these habits from the past, like, what does this mean? I remember Andrew and I going to couples therapy and just being like, what does sex look like to both of us? What does it mean to both of us? What is the point of it in our marriage? And actually just starting from the basics and both talking about, like, this is what it means to me. This is what I view as good sex. This is what I view as bad sex. This sex makes me feel respected. This sex makes me feel disrespected. Like, truly just laying it all out there like any other topic we would in our marriage, and dissecting it and getting on the same page. I mean, we do it with our parenting because that's very important to us. If sex is extremely important in a marriage, which it is, it's how you physically connect with each other. It is so important that you both feel safe, that you're both having fun, and that you both feel connected and heard.
Well, and then another thing is, like, there's a lot of us who don't actually know what we like.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there, you might be in our boat, where it's like you come to marriage with some baggage.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't, you're not exploring this with your partner. It's like, it's a little bit more messy.
Yeah.
And I would say that the one thing I would recommend to my daughters, about the reason why saving yourself for marriage is such an ideal, is because you get to explore that with one person.
Yes.
And it's really, I believe God meant for I used to refer to it like this when I would speak to girls. I used to go and speak to crowds of girls about this subject, actually, which was not necessarily waiting for marriage, but the root issue that you're going to carry with you are these ghosts of these people that you gave yourself to. And I don't believe in necessarily the shaming of this, because good Lord, if anybody is going to be shamed, it should be me. But I don't believe in like the shaming of it. I just believe like the weight of the consequence of the choices that you make.
Yeah.
And you have to carry those ghosts with you. Sometimes that will affect the choices that you make, and then it will bring you into some really uncomfortable conversations with your partner, because they're like, wait a minute, why do you feel that way? Is it because you did it with that one person that one time, blah, blah, blah. So needless to say, not to get off track, but I think that I was thinking about really, like, as you were talking, why is this a particular sin that people really hone in on? Like, they hone in on it, like they become really obsessed with it, and they make it their whole personality.
It's so true.
And I'm curious if the reason is because it's not being like shined a light on.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to make sense of the thoughts I have in my head right now, but I was thinking like the reason why it's something that makes people so tense is maybe because when you have these experiences that you feel shame about, that's where you hide from God.
Mm-hmm. Shame grows in solitude.
And God wants connection with us. And maybe if we start talking about these things in a God-centered way, but we also aren't shaming other individuals for their past, current, or future experiences. It's like allowing people to come as they are, so that they can meet God where they're at.
Absolutely. I think that we live in a very sexualized society.
Sure.
America in itself, like, everything is sexualized and made to feel inappropriate and done for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it comes down to money. Sex sells. Okay. So
Yeah.
I think we have just basically completely shied away from talking about sex in a good way.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 4 daughters and I fully intend to tell them, I think that it would probably benefit you to wait till you're married simply because you won't have to deal with all the things that come with having previous partners. There's the dangers of getting pregnant, STDs, there's emotional connections, there's trauma that can happen. And if you wait, you just don't have that baggage to deal with. But if you don't wait, talk to me.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with you.
Yes.
That's your journey. That's your life. That's your choice. You've been told what could happen, but I'm not going to shame you for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe our approach as a society is we just shame anybody that does what we disagree with.
Oof. I think that we just have gotten really, really comfortable with shaming people though. Because that's I look online and I'm like, this is absolutely bizarre to me. Bizarre. There are people that feel so brave online. I am shocked because quite frankly, I would never in my wildest dreams even think some of the comments that people are saying.
I know.
And they're just sending them out like it's no big deal. And I think that's really odd.
Do you ever get on Reddit?
No,
okay,
I don't know.
I use Reddit. When I had my tummy tuck, I was deep in
Reddit.
The tummy tuck Reddit page because there's a Reddit for everything. So it's actually a really cool resource. So I'll check Reddit every now and then, but it is the nastiest, most hateful place on the internet as well. There are literal Reddit forums dedicated to bashing people. What do you you have too much time. Why would you put we're trailing off. But
no, but I think shame and shaming others and really putting people down is really the root of what we're trying to get to.
The fear of shame. If you can open your phone, which is with you all the time, tap on an app and immediately see 500 people shaming somebody for what they wore. A woman for what she wore.
I think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely crazy.
If we don't think that gets into our psyche,
I will say the best people I've ever met don't think that way.
No.
And so I'm just I don't know how these people were made. What are you doing that this is how you're spending your free time? What's fascinating, and this all correlates back to sex, okay? Taylor Swift. Absolutely love Taylor Swift. And if you don't love her, we can have a conversation about it because you cannot argue this woman's genius. You cannot. You don't have to like her music. You don't have to like anything that she does. But you cannot. And I'm not also, and I will stand by the fact that I think being a billionaire is slightly unethical. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I also think that I just like her music. So therefore I'm a little biased, I guess. Here's what I'm going to say. People are freaking losing their minds over this girl's music and the new album she's put out because it's not like what she's put out before. And I'm like, do you think that your comment will do anything other than boost her fame? Because do you think that your comment about her body, her outfits, what she has to say, this song, the lyrics of the song, the music videos, the whatever, do you think your one comment, lady from Ohio, is going to just be is going to get to Taylor Swift and she's going to be like, you know what, Sandra? Correct. I'm quitting. I'm quitting now.
Right.
I'm giving this up. What do you think is going to happen with that comment? I say it, but then I also say on a whole other spectrum, there are some places where it's warranted. For example, holding public officials accountable.
Oh, yeah.
Holding people accountable for some of their absolutely audacious behavior, things that are inappropriate or illegal or whatever. It's calling those people out. Sure. So I contradict myself. It's we're attacking people for their artistry, for whatever, because we're bored. could we not use that energy and use it for something else? Could we not Dexter that situation?
Yeah.
Could we not, like, if we're so angry and we're so upset and we've got all these feelings, is there a way to funnel it to something that's really productive?
Yeah.
Could you have sex with your partner super angrily, and then you are immediately so much more connected?
Yeah, you could. I don't know about angry sex, but yeah,
you get it. Yeah,
you get it. So it's interesting. I went to therapy this week, and it was the first time I've ever gone. Andrew and I were actually supposed to go together, and he couldn't make it. So a lot of times I come armed and ready, like with a topic. You know me. Like I don't just go in and like freeball it. It's like, Here's what we're talking about today, Sonia. And I came in today, and I was like, I don't know what to talk about. And she's like, okay, tell me what's going on. We cover everything. And we just kind of had a lovely discussion where I could tell her things going on in my life, and probably how therapy's supposed to be when I'm not trying to run the show. And we were talking about my marriage. And I was like, it's good. We have normal marriage issues, which is always our goal, is to have not extreme marriage issues, but normal marriage issues. And I was like, I think my issue is that like he's really annoying me a lot lately. And I see all of his shortcomings. Like I'm hyper focused on when I see him and he does this, when I'm like, of course you did. Of course you did. And I was like, is there a way for me to see him and not see that first?
Yep.
She gave me these worksheets where you go through and you like highlight your spouse's strengths and the things that they've done this week that made you feel good, and really just shift that energy and that focus into highlighting the incredible parts of your partner. And then it actually ends up making you more attracted to them as well.
I love that.
It was really cool.
An actionable step.
It's really cool. And I also remember, so that's been really great this week. We have felt very connected because I've been focusing on reasons why I love him, not reasons why he annoys me. Because listen, there's always going to be annoying reasons. Like I could pull them all out right now, but I'm not going to focus on that. And we try to hold each other accountable. Our group of friends, like we encourage speaking highly of our spouses or partners and getting it on. Like I think we definitely encourage each other, like, hey, you need to connect this week. Like, you know,
it's well, and I think that that's something that is not normalized in just really uplifting your spouse and really encouraging sex. I had a mentor a while back that was like, it really needs to be like, it's a war and a battleground for your marriage, like in favor of the kingdom. So you need to recognize it as such, and know that, yes, like you're not always going to feel like you're in the mood for it. But at the end of the day, like when you really love your spouse and you're really committing time and you're really focused on the betterment of your family unit and your marriage, it's not going to come from a place of resentment. And actually, if you're feeling that resentful, it will really encourage you to get to the root of why you're feeling that resentful. And once you get to the root of that, typically it frees that space up, and you feel a lot more comfortable and a lot more willing to connect. So I think
and wanting
the steps to get closer. If you're taking one extra step every single day to get closer to your spouse, you're winning.
You're winning. And also to add to that, this is only for people in partnerships or marriages who are safe, loving. Like no one should ever leverage sex. No one should ever make you feel like you owe it to them. It should be a mutual, consensual thing. Amen. There are going to be times when one of you doesn't want to as much as the other, but as long as you both end going, okay, you're right, that was fun, that's okay.
Yep.
But no one should ever guilt you into putting out.
Nope.
Hard no.
Hard pass.
Also, that gives me the ick.
Ugh.
If the man ever pouts, I'm just like, yeah, lay there in that pout. Ugh, gross.
The list of things that give me the ick. Number one, I talked to Courtney about the fact that like he's about to have surgery, and I'm already I'm having to pray every single day because a sick and ailing man, I have no time for it or patience. And I feel like such a bad wife.
I know.
But I'm just like, I don't have the time. It's awful. And I'm like, and I need to get right with the Lord about it, but I'm just not.
I know. I know. I know.
Struggling mentally, but
yeah.
We'll get there.
So to kind of full circle this, how often you have sex is really dependent on you and your partner.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I mean, everyone's so different. Everyone has different needs. I personally feel like the best way to make sure that we're maintaining connection and not like forgetting that part of our marriage is at least 2 times a week.
Yeah.
Our youngest is 3.5. Now, whenever I had 4 kids, 6 and under, it was nowhere near that. And I would wake up every morning because I had no sexual desire at all. I would literally wake up and walk the loop of my driveway, and my therapist told me to do this, and it worked. Took like 6 months, but I would pray specifically, God, make me horny for my husband.
There you go.
Please make me so physically attracted to him that I just really want to get it on. And it took a while. And that could have been like breastfeeding hormone, it's all those things. But I think speaking life into that every day
for sure
definitely was like, I got you, girl.
But that's where it's like women that are listening to this and men that are listening to this, you're not alone.
Yeah.
And also there's nothing wrong with you. And it's not that you're not attracted to your spouse. It's not that you're not those things. It just is life. And we're all in it. And it's and I've experienced the exact same thing. I think my husband is the most beautiful man on earth. But I'm also like,
it's hard to make that.
Don't talk to me.
Don't breathe.
Or even look at me.
It's hard to keep that as a huge priority when your life gets so full and busy with so many other things that take up space.
Yeah.
But this is your reminder that I have found when my marriage is good and strong and reliable, everything else in my life feels so much easier.
Oh, 1,000%.
And so when I focus on keeping that healthy and strong, my whole home is happier.
Amen.
And part of that comes from getting freaky.
Done. We love you.
We love ya.
Get freaky this week. Bye.